Let's go, Arkansas fans. I know this is going to be painful, but I honestly believe there is major overreaction to this loss to BYU, and we're going to break this down from so many different angles. What a great play to start things off, a nice little quarterback power run play. You know, if KJ makes that guy miss, he has a absolutely massive game. All right, and this is the big run right here to get things going for Arkansas, okay? Just a simple zone blocking play to the right, and you see this hole is abso-freaking-lutely massive. And when I begin to see things like this, when I watch the beginning of this game, I see linebackers just filling, and, you know, the defense isn't doing a good job with run fitting. And A.J. Green, who's really, you know, to me, a decent back, he's got good speed. If you give any SEC back this, okay, good block right here by Haas. He's going to house you, and this safety took probably the worst angle I've ever seen. I was like, okay, this is Arkansas's day, right? You don't have Rocket Sanders. A.J. Green has been an okay backup, and he pretty much runs untouched into the end zone. How can Arkansas potentially lose this game? I have no idea, and even Zero missed that tackle. So what the heck happened? We get a 2nd and 10 here. And Jeffcoat has been such a good player for Arkansas. But, once again, he's left unblocked right here to make this play. So, like I said, BYU was just so discombobulated. I have no idea why you would leave him unblocked with that design. But, once again, it looks like it's going to be Arkansas's night. And then we move ahead to this 4th down play. And I remember sitting on the couch watching this. I thought this was going to be a big return for this reason. This is excellent stuff by 17 and 11. They just smother this player right here, okay? And not only do they get that, they also get this guy hardly with any jump whatsoever. So the deep snapper is beating, you know, he's able to leave right when the ball is snapped. Everyone else has to leave essentially when, you know, the ball hits the foot of the punter. And look at all the space that Isaiah Satania has to work with, okay? The blocking here is just really freaking good. And with all this room to operate, all Satania has to do is run through here. Good block right here to not blindside him, just get a little piece. Smart move right there by 13. And now all these guys are just way out of their rush lanes. And this cut right here by Satania was really good, okay? Now all you got to do is beat the punter right here, and he does just that. So once again, really good run back here by Satania, but A.J. Green and Isaiah Satania up to this point had not had a special play, and they get 2 untouched house calls, and you get an untouched Jeffcoat. So at this point, the score is 14-0, but it's more BYU just playing absolutely awful. I still think Arkansas overall was a better team. I'll explain why at the end. All right, so one thing I saw from Arkansas tonight, I say tonight, from this game, is they looked very tired at the end of it. And I think part of it is when you have one of your best receivers playing on kickoff team's hard, right? You're sprinting up and down. I never like, in particular, my wide receivers to play kickoff team just because receivers just sprint so much. Running backs is a little bit different, especially if you have a heavier running back rotation. So, yeah, you know, it looked like Tesla got out of his lane just a little bit there. All right, this is one of the best designed throwbacks I have ever seen when it comes to a trick play, okay? You still have to account for this, all right? First thing here, if you see this, okay, your DBs need to immediately bail, all right? This is very clearly a throwback. Now, I've never seen one go this far back, so it is blatantly obvious that this is a trick play. There's no way that the intent of this is to run, okay? So the reason why this got so open is Arkansas does have somebody accounting for this portion of the field. It's just he runs with the tight end, which he should, but there was nobody else to account for the running back who was wide open, okay? Trick plays are difficult because there's not many people on the roster who can chunk a football that far to the opposite hash with the glove on as well. And obviously, you're just going to get beat, okay? But still, here you go. It's 14-7, and so far you've been the better team, right? Now, this is just really good quarterbacking right here by KJ Jefferson. LSU does a lot of this. Vertical route here, and pretty much a diagonal deep over to this side of the field. This is a very, very good zone beater, and this is a good job by KJ Jefferson. The Arkansas offensive line started the game really well, and look at where KJ puts this football, right where his guy could get it. Really good throw, really good catch, and you get an explosive pass play. Honestly, I think this was the most underrated play in this game right here. I know the footage is going to be a little bit choppy, but stick with me here. So KJ back of the pocket, nothing is open. But eventually, Lucas does find himself open. This is really good quarterbacking to step up. And in this spot, I don't mind KJ running here. And I know I've been saying on film studies you don't really want him to run as much as he's run. But Haas does open himself up, and he gets this, and he's also able to make this a fourth and manageable. In fact, he's able to fall forward and eventually get this first down, or at least it would have been fourth and inches. So here he is going up against two. I think his name's Bywater, and he's got some NFL aspirations. And is that pass interference? I guess if you extend your arms, you're going to call that. So I guess if you're KJ, if you just run with it, you're in a better spot, right? Because that's never getting called if you're just running, right? But still an absolutely massive call in that spot. All right, 3rd and 24, and once again, I've been bringing this up on this channel. It is difficult to gain all the yards, right? Take a look at this defensive alignment. It's a too high safety look. So they are going, even though it's just press across the way here, everything deep more than likely is going to get covered. So if I'm Arkansas, if they're running just press man right here, I understand they're running like these scissors where, you're trying to cross these guys up. Was something open right here? I don't know. It's just tough to see with this tight of an angle. You're just not going to get these yards. KJ's just got to throw it here to your check down. And even though he would immediately get tackled, you throw him, lead him, you never really know. Just a bad sack if you ask me. So that one call, it was a 50-50 call, cost you 20 yards right there. Now you got a punt. All right, here we go. I believe this is the touchdown run. And I've got to be honest, this was so well blocked. It did not help, though, that the angles here are some of the worst tackling angles I've ever seen. Now, this is something you've got to live with if you are an Arkansas Razorback fan, is if you want to play a more aggressive style of defense and you have guys playing far more downhill, if you will, you've got to be careful for explosive rush plays in particular. So left tackle right here, really good draft prospect, as they brought up in the broadcast. He's pulling around, all right? And the first thing here on this little run play is the guy who makes the massive mistake is Walcott, all right? The one thing you do not want to do if you're playing the deep safety, all right, it doesn't matter where you make the tackle. Everyone else, it kind of matters. You don't want to give up just too many yards. But you are the last line of defense, okay? Now, before we get back to him, we'll break down this rushing play. Arkansas elects to kill and spill these pullers. So 6's job is to get to the inside right here. 27's job is to get to the puller, and 28's job is to get to this play, get to over here and make the tackle. The issue here is the right tackle is able to get to 28 easily, okay? And he's able to seal 28. Now, why is he able to seal 28? Well, because he is getting Spence right here. He's getting a little too far downhill, okay? And when you play teams that know how to run counter, that's what they want you to do. They want you to get aggressive, and they want to be able to wash you out of the play. So if 28 would have just shuffled a little bit more horizontally instead of just getting into the mush right here, he probably doesn't get blocked. And the one thing you don't want to do is take the inside here, and he does. And now he's eventually just taken himself out of the play. So right here, everything is perfectly blocked, okay? So 27 has a clear lane to run through. And the thing is, this actually wasn't the cleanest, okay? I think Paul did an okay job to slow this down. And 28, as you can see, taking that horrible angle, he's never getting there, okay? The issue, though, is 13, you're the last line of defense. You don't need to be running full speed down here. We need you being horizontal to make this tackle right here. And you see he kind of just ran himself out of the play, and it's a touchdown. This was a really good play call, right? They're starting to get some momentum defensively, and the screen is actually sold really well, okay? For a screen to work, you need all four of these defensive linemen to kind of take themselves out of the play, and they do just that. You've just got to catch this. I mean, you just do, all right? This is a massive, massive gainer, okay? It really doesn't matter which way he would have elected to cut on this too. 90's out of the play. 78 is right here. 78 would have gotten him kicked out. 2 would have been kicked out right here. And, man, I mean, if everything would have gone according to plan, it could have been him and this safety for 6. This is at least a 14, 15-yarder. You just got to catch that ball, and the throw could have been better. All right, so this is what Florida State does really well, and honestly, Kansas is really known for this, and I'm surprised teams aren't doing more of this, okay? The fake throw right here to the running back, okay? What happens here is this doesn't get passed off properly. So 25 is in man coverage with the running back, and he does a good job taking the go right here. But there is a second little fake from the tight end. So the tight end fakes like he is blocking for the running back in the flat, and then he goes out for a pass. All right, so if the deep ball isn't open, you get a second explosive play option right here, okay? And that's exactly what happens. It's just a really well-designed play, and it's so tough to stop because you think that tight end is blocking. You've seen this A-gap blitz work repeatedly. Against Kent State, you're able to just run over backs and centers, and it doesn't work today, right? You're going up against better teams. And that was just a really good play by the quarterback, Slovis. Very experienced guy, good pocket manipulation, and they eventually do score on this drive. All right, so to me, this was the worst sequence of plays I think I've seen in the entire SEC. It was 2 runs to DeBinion, who hadn't really been that great for Arkansas, and some of that is because the run blocking and play calling is very predictable. And then on third down, you don't even give KJ a chance to throw it. Remember, in the last 2 film studies, I warned you guys, quarterback power sweep plays aren't going to get it done on third down. They did against Kent State because Kent State's terrible, okay? The blocking wasn't great. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but this is more so talking about the play calling just being absolutely awful there. So we move ahead here, and Arkansas's defense just stepped up to end this half. I mean, BYU's offense really couldn't get anything going, and Arkansas is able to drive down the field, and this is just KJ making a play. It's really good stuff. Coverage breakdown, trying to get a vertical shot right here. There's a few things you could do, all right? LSU killed Mississippi State with this, and so did Arizona versus Mississippi State. if you are going to back your linebackers up so far deep, you just want to hit checkdowns, right? Or what you could do is sit in the pocket like KJ does, be really, really, really patient, and he sees that this corner right here keeps running with the vertical. All right, so when KJ sees that, he knows that Haas is going to be wide open in this end zone, and you're able to score a touchdown. Really good stuff right there by Dan Enos. What, the momentum's back in your favor. It's a tie game. They still have 2 timeouts left, and this is honestly just going to be a good lesson in not giving up, okay? Really good play design right here. These guys are actually blocking downfield, and they're running a shallow little drag route to 2, all right? So 2 on defense, their best defender, 2 on offense, their best receiver, and what happens? Dwight McGlothern just makes a turnover. I mean, this guy is a turnover magnet. He's able to jar that football loose, and guess what? You got really good field position here at the end of the half. All right, so it's 1st and 10. Really good play design right here by Dan Enos, okay? He sees the single high safety. Haas, at this point, might be your best weapon, okay? And they're running a little tight end out and up, okay? It's a little wheel. KJ, nice little pump fake. And now he just has to throw this football to Haas. And the protection is really good. Haas runs a really good route. I know it's a little pixelated, but he picks it up. The only thing here is maybe keeping your feet is the next thing, because if you look right here, all right, the ball hits you in stride. There's no reason to fall down here. And trust me, the catch is a great thing. But this guy isn't even close to you. You catch it in stride, make this guy make a tackle on you going this way, or you could catch it, cut back on him, and you're walking into the end zone. All right, this is KJ's biggest mistake of the night, and this is LSU's bread and butter play, and they actually ran it a little bit earlier, and this should have been Haas for a touchdown. I have no idea what KJ was doing other than, just the Superman persona just kind of getting in the way here, okay? Perfect play call. All right, it's hurry up, and now this man coverage defender has to run all the way over here to guard Haas, and look, it's right there. Oh, man. And the block would have been made, well, actually, he would have whiffed that block, 13. 13 on defense and offense have had really tough seasons. Okay, this block is not hard, and all he would have needed to do, let's just say that he does throw it, okay, all he would have needed to do is just get in the way of this guy, okay, just even diving right here and not even hitting him would have been the better option, and he doesn't even touch him. He doesn't even get a touch on him, because if he did, this is a walk-in touchdown. I'm telling you, walk-in. This safety is far too pinned to the inside, and you see he even slipped, but this is on KJ. That's just terrible, terrible, terrible quarterback play. Just run the play and hit him right there, even though the execution by 13 was terrible. Okay, and right here, protection just breaks down. 75 right here just gets beat way too easily. So KJ's just got to make something happen. You just cannot take a sack right here, even though you have all 3 timeouts. KJ does a smart thing to step up in this pocket. I mean, yeah, you got to step up. And, yeah, he's looking at Haas right here. If he doesn't feel 92, he hits Haas right here, and that might be a touchdown. Okay? Instead, he steps up into this pocket, which he needs to because of 92. Big miss right there by 75. And now, KJ, it's just too late for him to throw it. Rolls out to the right. Something else you can do right here is just hit this check down, and an extra benefit of hitting this check down even though time isn't a factor with 3 timeouts, is he can catch it and run out of bounds, or catch it and make something happen and score. Instead, KJ, rolls out to the right here, and now the field is cut off in half. Okay, there's absolutely just, that could have been thrown right here if he wants it. But ultimately you don't want to give up the turnover. You play cautious and you get out of bounds. I don't mind running on 3rd down. I just don't. Okay? The issue here is, even though this play has been your best 3rd down converter, okay, they've just been blocking outside of that very first play. Quarterback power had not been working. So, you get in this spot, and yeah, it's just easy, right? They burn a timeout, and it's an extra hit on your quarterback. So Arkansas settles for a field goal with Cam Little, and you're going into the half with the lead. So let me know down below if you guys hit the microphone. I'm not smooth at all. But let me know if you guys are like a part 2